Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Rory Kim Zolciak's daughter hit with multiple DUI, drug charges. Kim Zolciak's daughter, Ariana Bierman, is facing up to 6 charges in relation to her 2022 DUI arrest. The Real Housewives of Atlanta alum is standing by her daughter throughout the ordeal, pointing out that Ariana has been nothing but cooperative with police. So what is that RHOA daughter being charged with? Keep reading to find out. Ariana Bierman facing 6 misdemeanor charges. Ariana Bierman was arrested for driving under the influence on August 13, 2022. Now she has been officially charged with 6 misdemeanors in relation to the DUI arrest. The charges being brought against her include possession of drug-related objects. She was unlawfully in possession of a THC vape cartridge when she was pulled over. She's also being charged with improper turn, failure to obey signs, underage possession of alcohol, driving under the influence of alcohol, and driving under the influence of multiple substances. When she was arrested, Kim Zolciak's daughter was booked and taken into custody in Forsyth County. Ariana was reportedly pulled over after she hit another car. She was arrested with her boyfriend, Hudson McLeroy, who was also in the car at the time. It was reported that Ariana claimed she hadn't been drinking even though officers smelled alcohol on her breath. She told law enforcement that the smell could have been coming from her clothes. The RHOA daughter admitted to smoking a THC vape pen the night before, but maintained that she didn't drink alcohol before getting in the cat. There was a field sobriety test conducted. Officers said there was a noticeable sway when Ariana walked. Kim Zolciak's daughter plans to fight the charges. Ariana is attempting to fight the charges being brought against her. Her lawyer, Justin Spisman, said that Kim Zolciak's daughter was just upset and anxious from the minor accident that had occurred. He also claims that the investigating officer incorrectly concluded she was impaired by alcohol. Late in 2023, Ariana filed a motion to exclude any evidence gathered as a result of unlawful seizure. Her lawyer claims that there weren't sufficient facts to be able to suspect Ariana was under the influence or that any other criminal activity was underfoot. When her daughter's arrest made it into the news, Kim Zolciak defended Ariana on social media. The Real Housewives of Atlanta alum said, since she was being cooperative and honest, she admitted to consuming marijuana the day before, meaning over 24 hours prior to her contact with the law. The Atlanta sun had barely crested the horizon, its golden rays slicing through the humid air as the news began to spread like wildfire. Kim Zolciak, the blonde bombshell and former star of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, found herself back in the spotlight, this time not for her sharp wit or flamboyant lifestyle, but for a scandal that threatened to shake her family to its core. Her daughter, Ariana Bierman, had been arrested. Not just a minor infraction, not a speeding ticket or a parking violation, but something far more serious. Multiple DUI and drug charges. The headlines blared the news, each one more sensational than the last. RHOA's Kim Zolciak's daughter hit with multiple DUI, drug charges, screamed one. Another painted an even more lurid picture. Reality star's daughter in hot water. DUI, drugs, and a dangerous spiral. For Kim, who had lived much of her life in front of the cameras, this was not just a personal crisis, it was a public spectacle. The glitz and glamour of reality TV, the endless parties, the shopping sprees, and the larger-than-life persona she'd had cultivated over the years, all seemed hollow in the face of this harsh reality. Her daughter, the little girl she had raised in front of millions, was now the subject of a scandal that could not be spun or glossed over. Ariana had always been the quieter of Kim's daughters, more reserved than her older sister, Brielle. She was the one who, even as a child, preferred the company of a good book to the raucous noise of a reality TV shoot. But as she grew older, the pressures of living in the shadow of her mother's fame began to take their toll. The weight of the Zolciak name, the expectation to be perfect, to be flawless, and to maintain a facade of the ideal reality TV family was heavy. The night of the arrest, Ariana had been out with friends. It was supposed to be a low-key evening, a chance to unwind and escape the ever-watchful eyes of the public. But somewhere along the way, things had gone terribly wrong. The details were murky, but what was clear was that Ariana had gotten behind the wheel after consuming far too much alcohol. The police report detailed how she had been pulled over after swerving across lanes, nearly colliding with oncoming traffic. The officer who approached the vehicle immediately noticed the smell of alcohol and other substances that hinted at something darker. A field sobriety test was conducted, and it didn't take long for the situation to escalate. Ariana failed the test, her movements sluggish, her speech slurred. When the officer asked if she had consumed any drugs, Ariana hesitated before admitting to having taken prescription pills earlier in the day. But the presence of illegal substances was soon discovered, leading to additional charges. The arresting officer described Ariana as disoriented and emotional, a far cry from the composed young woman she had often appeared to be on television. She was taken into custody, her mugshot, a stark contrast to the carefully curated images on her Instagram, circulating online within hours. For Kim, the phone call in the middle of the night was every mother's worst nightmare. She rushed to the station, her heart pounding in her chest, dreading what she might find. The sight of Ariana, disheveled and distraught, sitting behind bars, was enough to bring her to her knees. Kim had always prided herself on being a fiercely protective mother, someone who would do anything to keep her children safe. But now it felt as though she had failed. The news of Ariana's arrest hit the Atlanta social scene hard. Friends, family, and acquaintances whispered among themselves, speculating about what could have driven the young woman to such reckless behavior. Some blamed the pressures of fame, the constant scrutiny, and the unrealistic expectations placed on reality TV children. Others pointed fingers at Kim, suggesting that her own lifestyle had set a dangerous example. But in the days that followed, as the legal process began to unfold, Kim made a decision. This was not the end of her daughter's story. It was a chapter, an ugly, painful chapter, but one that could be turned. She vowed to stand by Ariana, to support her through the court hearings, the media frenzy, and the inevitable social fallout. The legal battle was fierce. Ariana's attorney argued that she was a young woman who had made a mistake, one that should not define her future. The prosecution, however, pushed for harsher penalties, citing the severity of the charges and the potential danger she had posed to others on the road. Kim attended every hearing, her face a mask of determination. She knew that this would not be an easy road, that the media would continue to hound them, that every move Ariana made would be scrutinized. But she also knew that her daughter needed her now more than ever. The public was divided in its response. Some expressed sympathy for Ariana, recognizing that the pressures of growing up in the limelight could lead anyone to make poor choices. Others were less forgiving, arguing that she should face the full consequences of her actions, regardless of her family's fame. In the midst of the chaos, Ariana herself remained largely silent. She issued a brief statement, expressing remorse for her actions and vowing to take responsibility. But beyond that, she stayed out of the public eye, focusing instead on her legal defense and the long process of rebuilding her life. For Kim, the ordeal was a harsh reminder of the double-edged sword of fame. She had spent years basking in the spotlight, but now that same light was harsh and unforgiving, illuminating every flaw, every misstep. Yet through it all, she remained steadfast in her support for her daughter, determined to see her through this dark period. As the days turned into weeks and the media frenzy began to die down, Kim and Ariana faced an uncertain future. The legal battle was far from over, and the road to redemption would be long and difficult. But in those quiet moments, away from the cameras and the flashing lights, they found strength in each other. Kim knew that this scandal would leave a mark, that it would be something people talked about for years to come. But she also knew that it didn't have to define Ariana's life. She was her mother's daughter, strong, resilient, and capable of rising above this challenge. And as they walked out of the courthouse together, hand in hand, Kim whispered a promise to her daughter. "We'll get through this together."